Okay, next comes one of the hardest segments in the Excalibur 2 Perfect game run. And there's a lot going on here. First, there'll be a fight against Beatrix. And so you need to prepare for that. Shriner is already equipped perfectly for that fight. And Vivi's only job in that fight is to throw Phoenix down, so it doesn't matter what he wears. So I just need to equip Zidane and Freya. And I equip them to maximize their damage output. The Excalibur 2 Perfect Game Guide relies on Shriner to do all the damage against Beatrix, but this is rather slow. If Zidane and Freya participated as well in the damage dealing, then the fight can go much faster. And so I set them up so they should each do within the 500s, and that'll help a lot with the damage. And I also give Freya the Mithril Helm and Mithril Armor, so she can have Insomniac and cover. Because she needs Insomniac to make sure she doesn't fall asleep against the Bandersnatch, and then cover is to protect Shriner. Now here I grab those two chests before proceeding on to fight Beatrix. It's a bit faster overall to collect those chests at this point instead of earlier. But to do that you have to be really good at mashing. If you can get through them fast enough, then you have just enough time to get back onto that swinging platform thing when it comes around. And then Zidane, in addition to being maximized for damage, has the bronze vest on, because that'll give him +1 spirit and +1 magic defense. The magic defense will be useful in the fight he's in after this one. And then I also activated Add Status and Insomniac on him while I was in the menu anyway, because he's going to use those later. And I also activated Auto Potion for Vivi, because we got to keep him alive in the fights afterwards. So now we begin fighting Beatrix. If you're lucky, you might have one of your characters get a turn in before Beatrix, but you usually won't. I just happen to get a bit lucky here and have Zidane go first. Beatrix has near max speed, so she will usually go first. Now, Beatrix will use Cura as her next action when her HP goes under half of her max. Which means Vivi is no longer needed to revive anyone at this point, because now I can finish her with the next round of attacks. If you're not so lucky and Beatrix goes first and manages to knock someone out in both of her attacks, then you might need to have Vivi cast a spell at the end too. But for me, she missed with her second attack, and so everybody was still standing. And because she missed, Freya's and Zidane's attacks in the last round were actually not necessary. But I failed to count damage properly, so just to be sure I had Freya attack. But I knew Zidane's attack would be unnecessary, so I had him steal, just to see if I could get something. The extra Phoenix down doesn't hurt. now Beatrix is finally fighting for us instead of against us. So we get to use these awesome skills that Beatrix has. In this first Bandersnatch, you want to get Freya knocked out and then have Beatrix cast Holy, because Holy will one-shot the Bandersnatch every time. I got pretty lucky here and had both Freya and Beatrix get turns right away. So Freya knocked herself out while Beatrix finishes the fight. And the Bandersnatch has a Phoenix Down as a guaranteed drop, so you get a nice replenishing of your Phoenix Down supply in this segment. Now I discovered that the Bandersnatch will not come until Zidane moves, so now I like to wait there for a while before running, because you'd have to wait anyway for the platform to go in the right place. So now I'm setting everybody up for the upcoming Type C fight. Notice that I gave Zidane the Mage Masher. With his add status, I'm going to have him attempt to inflict silence on these mages. And then Dagger got the Gold Choker, so she and Vivi can both have Auto Potion. And Vivi is the big hero here, because he's going to have to inflict stop 6 times in total, without any opportunity to save in between. So we want him dressed up as much as possible. With the Robe of Lords and the other things that Vivi has on, Vivi is completely invincible in this fight. Nothing can kill him. Not even a maximum strength spell from the strong Type C. And with Auto Potion, he'll heal himself back to full every time. And it's important to hold the menu open while you're waiting for someone to complete an action here, so we can know whether or not they succeed. So Dagger, with her multi-target silence, managed to silence one of the mages. So now I have Vivi cast Stop on the strong Type C, because the one farthest to the right has stronger spells than the other two, so we want to disable that one as soon as possible. And Vivi succeeds with the Stop, which is excellent. So with one stopped and one silenced, there's only one mage that can still cast spells. And rather unfortunate they knocked out Zidane there, because Zidane is equipped to survive any kind of spell from them unless it's maximum strength, which that one was. Steiner is working as a medic in this fight, just trying to keep everyone alive, while Vivi attempts to stop them, or the mages, that is. Alright, now the second mage is stopped, which means no more spells from the enemy, since the third one's already silenced. Zidane goes down again. I probably should have waited for the Type C's turn before casting Stop, because I meant to have Zidane gain AP from this fight. But I can make up for the AP that he misses here. Steiner learned Bird Killer in this fight, which will be important later. And Zidane was supposed to learn Flee, but I can make up for that by having equipped the Germanus boots now. Normally I would have just left him with what Optimize gave him for an add-on, which is the Power Belt, because he doesn't have anything else he needs to learn for in the add-on slot right now. And I also gave Steiner the Mithril Gloves so he can gain 2 more AP towards Maneater. That'll be important later. And then Dagger got the Katyusha, so he can double up on ability up learning. Now we have Bandersnatches that we need to stop. And that was excellent. First stop succeeded. And then I try to disable this second Bandersnatch with Silence and Blind. Because the Ogre has Blind as its status that gets afflicted with Soul Blade. And Soul Blade will always work as long as the target can be hit with that status effect. And we see that this fight went perfectly. BB stops both succeeded. So now there's just one fight to go that I still need to use stop with. Do a quick heal before I proceed. This time we have just one Bandersnatch. I wanted to make sure it didn't knock out Zidane before attempting to cast Stop, because he does need the AP now. And if I had remembered earlier, I would have switched Zidane's add-on to the Yellow Scarf so he can gain 2 AP for Bird Killer that he also missed in the Type C fight. But that can be made up later, so no worries. The first stop missed, but I was able to blind and silence him. So now we try again. And success. So now we just need Beatrix to survive the next 2 fights. In this first one, she just needs to get her turn quickly and use Clim Hazard before the Bandersnatches can kill her. This is all down to luck. There's absolutely nothing you can do to increase your chance of succeeding here. Now Steiner comes and joins them for the last fight. Now whoever in your party goes first should use an elixir on Beatrix right away, so she can restore her HP and she needs more MP enabled in order to use Clim Hazard again. But Beatrix got put to sleep, which puts me in a very precarious situation here. I have to really hope that the Bandersnatches behave in this next round. Will we have Thundara on Steiner to knock him out? And then a rush on Beatrix, which wakes her up so she can immediately use Clim Hazard. And I breathe a sigh of relief. Now all that's left to do is run to the Moogle, pick up his letter, and save. I have a bit of trouble using the Moogle menu here. And I'm finally through with a time I can be happy about.